Hey guys, Lisa Callaghy here to share with you a video on how you can create um, a Google slide to make your PDFs editable for your students. All right, so let's get started. Here we are on my ClassLink dashboard, and I'm going to navigate to my Google Slides tile and launch Google Slides. So Google Slides will open up to a page where I get to pick my type of presentation, or I can choose any presentation that I have already created. But for today, I'm starting a new presentation and I just want it to be blank. So I'm going to click on the blank presentation template. Okay, so it's going to open up just a blank presentation. It's going to give me the option of different themes over here in this menu option here on the right-hand side. And I don't need to use that because I'm not really doing a presentation. I just need the slide. So I'm just going to close that. And next, I'm going to remove these text boxes here because I don't need them. So I'm going to click on one of the outlines here of that text box to select it and click on my delete key on my keyboard. So I'm selecting those text boxes and deleting them. So now I have a blank slide. Except now I need to change this because this is a presentation view of the slide. I need the slide to be in the size of a PDF or a regular sheet of paper. So that is so that my PDF can kind of fit on here properly. So I'm going to change, let me just get rid of this. I'm going to change the page setup of this slide to mimic the size of my PDF, which would normally be an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So to change the page setup of this individual slide, I'm going to come up to File. And then from File, I'm going to scroll down to where it says Page Setup. And it defaults to widescreen because this is a presentation. But for our purposes, we need to come and click on that drop-down menu and choose Custom. So I'm going to change the parameters here to 8.5 and 11. And then click on Apply. So now my slide resembles the size of my PDF. All right, so now what I need to do is prepare my PDF. So I'm going to navigate to my desktop and find my PDF, or wherever you keep your PDFs on your computer, navigate to your PDF. And then I'm going to drag this PDF into my preview application. I like to use Preview. You could use Adobe, whichever you feel comfortable with. But let me just explain how you need to get this PDF into a JPEG. So you need to take a photo or you need to export this PDF in the format of a JPEG or a PNG file, either or. So the best way to do that, and there's actually two ways, it depends on your PDF, but if your PDF doesn't have that much text on it, you can simply take a screenshot. And notice that this is kind of a little large for me to take a screenshot, so I would have to scale down this document so I can see the whole document. And to take a screenshot, I would hold down my Command, my Shift, and the number 4 key on my keyboard, which will bring up my crosshairs. And I'm going to come up to the top left-hand corner of my PDF, click and drag. Okay, and let go at the bottom right-hand side of the PDF. And I just essentially took a screenshot of my PDF. The other thing that you can do is if your PDF has a lot of text on it, when you take a screenshot, it actually makes the text blurry. So to get a better focused view of your PDF, the best thing to do is to export. So you're going to come up to File. You're going to come down to Export. Okay. And then you're going to choose the file format as a PNG. That's the best pixel resolution that you can get for what we're doing. Okay. And then I'm going to choose Desktop. And I'm going to, let me see, I want to make sure I have everything correct. And then I'm going to click on save. So now I just exported that as a PNG file. Okay, so now I have two. I'm going to close this, and I have the screenshot, and then I have the PNG file, and I also have the actual PDF. So once I have those, now I'm going to come back to my presentation, and I need to import it here into my slide, and I need to make it my background. So I'm going to come up here to background, and I'm going to choose my image. Okay. And I'm going to click on browse, because what this is going to do is bring up a window that's going to get me to my actual documents here, my PDF document. So I have the two, I have the screenshot. So I'm going to start with the screenshot. Either or would be fine. I can pick either or. I'm going to start with the screenshot and see how it looks. Click on open. So now it's inserting that PDF into the background of my slide, and I think that looks pretty good. But if I thought it was blurry, I would kind of go back and go to background and choose the image and choose the other file, the PNG file. So you're able to edit that. But I like the way this looks. Okay, so the next step I need to do is put my text boxes over this slide. And just so that you can see, now it's a little small for me, so I would like to zoom in. So clicking on the zoom tool here on the top menu bar, going to click on maybe, let's see, 100, see what it looks like. That's pretty good. So I have to scroll, but I feel like this is big enough for me to work with. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some text boxes here. And the first text box I want to do is I want to put name. There's no name on here. So I'm going to come up here to this T, and I'm going to click. And now you see that my cursor becomes a cross. And I'm just going to click and drag. Okay, so that's my text box. So I'm going to type name here. Okay. And I'm going to actually change I'm going to fill my text box. So I'm not going to make it transparent. I'm going to make it solid. And I'm going to make it white. So now my students can see that they need to type their name in here. Okay. So that's my first text box. Can move that around if I'd like, wherever I would like that to go. I can make it larger. Okay, for students. Okay. So next, I need to place text boxes over the areas where they need to type. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back up to the text box tool, click, and I'm going to click and drag to make my text box, okay, over the area. Now, I can pretend type if I'd like, just to see what it looks like. This might be a little bit too big of the text. So what I'm going to do is scale that down by choosing the text size here, the top menu bar. And notice that where my actual text will fall within the text box, I can change that around as well. And then if I'd like to change the size of my text box, I can do that here. Okay, and then moving it around, clicking inside to see actually where my cursor is. And if it's not directly on the line, again, I can move this around to make it fit where I'd like it to fit. You could be however you'd like it to be. Okay, so that's one line. And then instead of coming back and creating another text box and putting it, I'm just going to simply select this text box. I'm going to come up and I'm going to go edit, copy, and then I'm going to click and go edit, paste. Now I have a second text box. But did you notice that my text box kind of has like this white, it's kind of covering the lines. That's because I need to fill and make my text box transparent so that way my students can actually see the lines that they are typing on. So I'm going to change the size of this text box here. Okay, so now I have two. And then notice if I wanted to, I could, okay, I can do a duplicate of this text box and kind of drag it where I want it to go and size it. Okay. And then if I want to duplicate this one, I can go edit, duplicate. And now I have this to move here. And I can duplicate this one and then move that down here. Okay. So I can continue doing this all the way through, duplicating text boxes, and I could use my Command D on my keyboard as well to duplicate my text boxes. Makes it easier. Those shortcuts are really phenomenal. Just makes it a lot quicker for you to go through. Duplicate again. Okay. Make sure I have that in there. Duplicate this. Okay. So when you're finished doing all of this and filling in all of your text boxes, the last step is for you to do a select all. So you're going to do a, let's see. Okay, edit, select all. Sorry. Okay, and what that's going to do is going to select all of your text boxes that you've created. And you want to select them and you want to group them together. So to do that, you're going to go to Edit, Select All, like I just showed you, and then you're going to come to Arrange, and then you're going to click on Group. So grouping them all together. So that way, if somehow a student moves the text box, they're moving all of them, and it's simple for you to just move back where you need to move them all. Just makes it a lot easier. If you group all your text boxes together, and then if they move one, it'll move all of them. Okay. So this is a video on how you make turn your PDFs into editable PDFs using Google Slides and text boxes. All right, guys, I hope this helped. Have a great day.